What's good, y'all? I know it's been a long time since I talked to y'all, but I actually tried to make this video for y'all like 3 times, and for some reason it just won't upload to YouTube. We talking about it's gonna take 20 something hours to upload. So hopefully this time it works and I can upload this for y'all. But I know I left off by talking about the reason why I left Atlanta. So that's what I'm gonna do for y'all today. I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I left. And I'm gonna start off by talking about Atlanta specifically. And then after that, I'll end it by talking about the reason why I left, which is more in depth, more into it. So to talk about Atlanta, in Atlanta, you're going to see 4 things. There's 4 things that everybody does, and there's 4 things that is being promoted. Scammers, rappers, drug dealers, and sports. These athletes. That's it. You're going to fall into one of those 4 categories in Atlanta. Otherwise you're seen as lame or somebody gonna be hating on you if you don't do one of those 4 things. So that's basically your way out. And I was born there. I was born and raised there. I stayed there for 24 years. So trust and believe I've seen it. No matter where you go, that's what you're gonna see. No matter what time of day, what time of night you step out, that's what you're gonna see. People don't care. They want the fast money, and that's what they're going to do to get it. You're not going to see families in Atlanta. You're not going to see full families. You know the right way. You should have a mom, a father, a mother, and kids, and everybody should be trying to strive to be better. Do in careers and have a good house, have a good family. You're not going to see that. You're going to see single moms and kids. That's it. I don't care where you go. You might catch a family in church or something. If you go to church, you might see a family. But as a whole, you're rarely ever going to see families. It's just going to be single moms and kids. Atlanta is also a place where you're not going to stop to get gas at nighttime. Like, that's a place where if the sun goes down, you're gonna be like, I just get gas in the morning. Like, it don't matter if you about to be on E, you're not gonna stop and get gas. If you do, you're gonna be looking over your shoulder. I don't care how hard you think you are, how tough you think you are, what type of guns or bullets you got. You're gonna be holding on to them. I promise you that, because as soon as you get out the car, it's gonna be 5 dudes posted up with nothing better to do, or it's gonna be somebody watching you in another car, ready to rob you, ready to do something, ready to kill you for no reason. Like, people don't have nothing better to do in Atlanta. Like, to get into the gas station, you got to pass 5 dudes who gonna want to rob you, who gonna want to say something to you, and you'd be lucky if your car is still there when you come out the gas station, because they'll steal your car in like 2 seconds. You can be pumping your gas and somebody will steal your car in Atlanta. So yeah, you can't have nothing nice there. People gonna hate on you. People will try to steal it and sell it or whatever. You basically just gotta fit into one of those 4 categories that I'm telling y'all about. Otherwise, people gonna hate on you. So that's it for Atlanta. And I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I left, which it had a lot to do with what I just told y'all, but it's more in depth to it. So the reason why I left, I'm gonna start off by saying, as I grew up, first off, I grew up playing football. I was a great football player. But as far as like in school or whatever, I grew up feeling like I never fit in with nobody. Like, I had supposedly friends, whatever. I had friends. I was popular, but I never fit in with nobody in my mind. So, as I grew up, I was seeing my friends wanting to party, wanting to smoke, wanting to drink. Basically everything that you see on social media, they was doing it as kids from middle school. they was doing it. Wanting to be a gangster, basically. Everybody want to be in a gang, want to have guns. That wasn't me. I was never a part of none of that. So I was seeing that from a young age all the way up until I left. So that was basically me from middle school all the way up to through college. But when I went to college, this is when things started to really change. So when I went to college like an hour outside of Atlanta. So it's still around Atlanta. It's close enough. Everybody who went there was basically from Atlanta. So when I went to college, I told y'all I played football. So I think it was like 3 years ago, 2021. I actually ended up tearing my ACL and my meniscus. So this is when life started to change for me. Tore my ACL and my meniscus. So I had one leg. I couldn't do nothing. This is when I lost people. I lost people that I was close to, or I was betrayed by people that I was close to. One of those. And this is when I went into a depression. And I seen people on my channel, seen a few comments of people who said, they was going through depressions, and videos like that I post, help them get through it. So I feel like this would be some inspiration to y'all, to the people who are going through depression, or you might go through a depression one day. So I ended up tearing my ACL. So in my mind, I already knew that football is probably over. And then I got betrayed by people and lost people that I was closest to. So, that's a bad combination at the same time. So I went through a depression, and I felt like there wasn't one person who I could call and really talk about nothing. I'm not talking about my family. I'm talking about people outside of your family. Like, you don't want to call your family to talk about stuff like that. You want to talk about stuff like that with people who your age, who you can relate to. And I basically didn't have that. So I went through my depression alone. But in the midst of that, I found trucking. But like I said, I was in a depression, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it was bad. Like, I remember one night specifically, I was laying down, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I was crying. And if you know me, people know that I don't cry. Like, I don't cry at all unless I'm like really hurt. Like, I can go years without crying. So when I was going through my depression, I was crying that night, and I was really asking myself, like, why am I here? Like, I mean, like, on earth, like, why was I born? And I did not want to be alive anymore. Like, to be honest with y'all, I really wanted it all to end, like, right there. Cause I feel like my whole life I grew up, and I've been so different from people. I never fit in with nobody. I don't like to do what everybody else like to do, whatever the world likes to do. I don't like to party. I don't like to drink. I don't like to smoke. I don't want to be a gangbanger. I don't want to hold no guns. I'm not chasing riches. I'm not chasing being famous. That was never me. So I was asking myself, or asking God basically, like, why was I born? Like, what's the point of me even being here? And I didn't want to be here no more. So when people say that they're going through depression, trust me, I know what you're going through, and I feel for you, because that was me. So basically that night, I was just thinking about everything, and it came to me like, the reason that I'm so different, and I don't fit in with nobody, it's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. That just means that I'm the person who's supposed to make a difference. I'm gonna be the one who make the biggest difference because I'm different from people. Like, so I'm gonna stand out. And I'm the one who actually has a different mindset to be better and be greater than what I'm surrounded by. And I say after that, shortly after that, I ran into, there's a girl on YouTube named Nisha K. Nisha K, I'm gonna add her, I'm put a screenshot or something on here if I remember. But she just got married. I think she just hit 100,000 subscribers on here. So she don't need no shout out from me, but I'm just telling y'all, that's the first person that I seen who was a truck driver. And she basically, I was binge watching her videos, and she kind of helped me with my depression. That's kind of how I felt like I fell in love with trucking. She made it seem fun. She was over the road. She had her dog with her. She was going to different states. She was making videos in the truck. So she made trucking seem fun. And that's kind of what planted the seed in my head that I'm going to go get my CDLs to become a truck driver. So I say after that, I had in my mind, like, I'm going to go back, I'm going to come back, I'm going to finish my last year of football, I'm going to graduate college, and then I'm going to get my CDLs. And that's basically what I did. I went and got my CDLs right after I graduated. And I say like a week before, or 3 days before I started CDL school, I told my cousin, I said, I'm gonna leave. I said, I'm gonna get my CDLs, I'm gonna move to Texas. And he knew that I wasn't playing, because basically everybody who knows me knows if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Like, that's just what it is. And it's hard for me. Basically, I'm not gonna change my mind about it. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So I went to CDL school, and basically, I kind of went through another depression. It wasn't a depression, but I was anxious to leave because I knew where I wanted to be, and I was still surrounded by everything that I just told y'all. So every day I go to work and come home, it's like that's what I'm seeing, and I'm anxious to get away from that. I didn't want to stay with nobody. I want to be by myself. So I didn't want to stay with my parents anymore. So every day I come back, it's like, man, I'm just ready to go. So after I got my CDL, I started working. I say God put me through an isolation stage. And this was like the final stage before I left. And basically isolation stage is like, you're not talking to nobody. It's just you. So he already put it in my mind that it was time for me to go to Texas. He already put that in my heart to leave. So after I started working and stuff, I knew I was in an isolation stage because certain people that I was reaching out to, they weren't responding or they weren't answering. You know, there are certain people in your life that you know if you reach out to them, it don't matter if y'all ain't talked for years. They're gonna always respond. They're gonna always answer. They're gonna always be there. And that's basically what happened with me. I was reaching out to people and they wasn't responding. They wasn't answering. And then that's when I knew I was like, I gotta be going through an isolation stage, because I seen videos on isolation. So I already knew. And so I said, I'm gonna reach out to this one person right here. If they don't respond, if they don't answer, I know I'm in an isolation stage. And basically that's what happened. I reached out to this person, no response. So from that point on, I knew, like, God basically was just telling me, like, yeah, I put this in your mind for a reason, and you're not gonna talk to nobody through this whole time until you leave. So I guess he didn't want me to have no distractions. He didn't want me to get persuaded to stay or change my mind. So basically that whole time I just worked and I went home back with my parents every day. Same thing. Work, go home, I play my game on the weekends or whatever. I didn't do nothing. And I didn't spend no money. So I just saved, and That was basically like that for 4 or 5 months. I didn't do nothing. And basically after that, I knew like I needed to get a car because I got my dog. So I wasn't gonna get on a plane. So I needed a car to drive. And so I was saving up for that, not talking to nobody, just going to work, coming home, stacking my money. And before you know it, like around my birthday, matter of fact, for my birthday, I ended up going to get my car. I went and got my Tesla that I showed y'all in the last video. And shortly after that, like a month later, that's when I came to Texas. And I've been here for like 4 or 5 months. And I want to tell y'all, I have no regrets. Like, I have no regrets. I don't ever see myself ever going back. I may go back to visit, but I mean, like, I'm not going back. I'm not moving back to Atlanta, ever. Since I came here, I've seen the total opposite of what I've seen in Atlanta. There's families here. Every single time I step out of the house, I see families. You know, you see a father, you see a mother, you see kids, you see people walking their dogs, you see people exercising. You don't see that in Atlanta. Every time I step outside, somebody running, somebody walking, even old people. That's motivation. You see nothing but big mansions. I can get in my car and drive 2 minutes down the road. I see nothing but mansions. That's nothing but motivation. I can go to the gas station no matter what time of night. I can go to the gas station at 3 in the morning. I'm not gonna see nobody there. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to pass nobody when I go into the gas station. Everybody's career people here. I'm not gonna say everybody, but you know, as a whole. I see people in suits. I see people basically just striving to be better people, and it's a better surrounding. I can step out of my house. I don't smell no weed. I haven't smelled weed since I've been here. I only seen 1 or 2 people smoke, and that was cigarettes since I've been here. So that's just a different environment, and I feel like I needed to leave to put my family in a better position. My family to come, meaning my kids and stuff, my kids, my wife, whatever. I feel like if I didn't leave, it'll never change, because I'm the one person who had the mindset to do it. So if I don't do it, then that's just what it's gonna be. It's never gonna change. And I feel like even if I can leave and not go back to Atlanta for 20 years, and I go back, and everybody that I left will still be in the same position. They'll still be on the same roads, still doing the same things we were doing since middle school. They'll be partying, they'll be smoking, they'll be drinking, they'll be doing whatever job they can just to get by, and they'll have about 3, 4 kids that they can't take care of because they didn't have the mindset to do better. Everybody has the mindset to be a follower, to do what they're doing on social media, to do what they see on social media. And that just wasn't me. So like I said, I'm glad that I did make that change. I'm glad that God put that in my mind, in my heart, and it's just gonna continue to go up. So I hope y'all like this video. Let me know how y'all feel. Comment, like, subscribe. Get me to 1,000, man. Can we get to 1,000? I see we are like 900 subscribers. So let's get to 1,000. And I'll see y'all in the next video.